What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? Oh, who got hurt last night? Yikes. Because I definitely got hurt. I definitely did. Ed, what up, man? What's the deal? What's going on? Oh my God. Shucks. Man. Man, I don't know, man. I was just looking at a few things. Yeah, I just was I got too much. I got a lot of stuff to do. I have to I got a event this weekend I gotta cook for. So I had to go grab a few things and what up, Mackie? Had to go grab a few things. That shit in the MLB research was out the door today. So, it is what it is. Might not be able to do it today, right? But I mean, I usually get really get into that NFL probably week 3 or 4, but I mean I haven't got a chance to look at most of the tools like I wanted to look at a lot of the tools and stuff like that for a lot of these tools that I'll be using for different sites and stuff like that because I'm still um I'm still trying to figure out which side I'm gonna roll with. I'm always rolling with game day. Always rolling with game day. Game day got a little NFL to it. So, we can go through few things to just see, you know what I'm saying? So, maybe tomorrow I'll probably be able to come back. You know what I'm saying? Right now, what um, I was looking at team share percentage. So just taking a look at what's been going on, what's happening, what's been going on, and things like that. What's been going on, and how these teams and target distribution and shit like that, right? So, um, I was just looking at James Conner right here, and he's always going to be a touchdown candidate for me. But as you can see right here, uh, Trey Benson had two red zone carries last week, right? So that's something that we want to keep an eye out on that, right? When you're looking at touchdowns, how about targets? Trey McBride had 9 targets, which accounted for 31% of the target share, followed by Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison had a TD, and then James Conner had a TD. Um, so you know, red zone targets here. Connor had one. McBride had one. Uh, Elijah Higgins, another the tight end, a backup tight end, he had one. So teams like that who have a tight end like somebody like solidified like Trey McBride and shit like that. Those backup tight ends are always in play because they still play that same offense, that same, you know what I'm saying? So, those can be vultures, you know what I'm saying? That was almost a fucking vulture right there. Let me see, 2 targets, no touchdowns, but he had a fucking red zone target, man. So yeah, right here. So that would have been kind of crazy. Um, Mackie say he likes kind of targets. I'm a target type of guy, right? I am. Uh, I like targets. I'm a target type of guy. I ain't gonna lie. right? So, but going up against Carolina, I was just looking because Carolina, boy, whoo, man. So Carolina, they still. I was looking right here. They have already allowed 100-yard rusher. Um, Passing, uh, 300-yard passers. Mm, Let me see, defensive position. How about completions? Mm, Yards. I forgot who Carolina played. Mm, Carolina numbers are right here. But the Russian, I know they got gashed up. Who the fuck did they play? I forgot. Either way it go, yeah, I definitely like them going up against let me see. How can I filter this out? I'll select all. Mm, I don't know. Let me see. Go to defensive matchups. How about that, right? Okay. So I can always go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. I see where this is going. All right. So I had Connor might do it this week. Shit. I had him for 2 touchdowns last week. He might be able to do it this week, but like I said, he has somebody, breathing down his back a little bit. Rams, Tennessee. Um, Rams, Tennessee. Some of the team share. Yeah, that's what I was want to look at. Some of the team share. Rams, Tennessee. So Rams. We know how concentrated this Rams office is, and that's what we want to target. You know what I'm saying? You definitely want to target concentrated offense. I'm definitely, it is what it is. When we're looking at the target share, Puka Nakua had 39% of the target share, 10 receptions on 11 targets. Devontae Williams had 8 targets. It's a matter of time before Devontae Williams have himself a game as well, right? Um, Let me see. Devontae Adams, I'm sorry if I said anything else. But yeah, you can look at some of his receptions last year, moving into last year, this year. We know what he can do, right? Um, his receptions in at 4.5. This should be this supposed to be a tough defense here, but we'll see what's going to happen, right? A 4.5, I think that's playing with a guy like Stafford. All he needs to have is that rapport with you, and you will get the targets you and only. So him and you and only you. So him and I mean this offense is definitely concentrated. I mean him, Nakua, and then you got the running back, right? So, those are the guys that's getting the bulk of everything here. If I bounce back here and come over here to Kyron Williams, he had 2 targets, no red zone targets. But when you're looking at the rush yards and stuff like that, um, I mean, you had Whittington, Quorum, whatever case may be, but 72% of the carry share, of course. He had 4 red zone carries, Kyron Williams. So right? We already know this. So these guys are definitely solidified. When you're looking at some value, what is Puka Nakua numbers here? Oh, 9.5. Right? Wait a minute. What is that for? 6.5 receptions. What was the 9.5 for? What was that 9.5 for? Interesting. Why did they have a 9.5 there? Whatever. Um, his reception yards are sitting at 79 and a half there, right? I do need to pay attention to this defense. That's something that I have to brush up on to see, pay attention to these defenses, personnels and stuff like that. This week, they ran zone. right? This week, 65% zone, Tennessee. Uh, Nakua is different though, right? I could go back to last year, 2024, and that was man coverage last year. Now this year they played their first game. They played a lot of predominant zone, but as you can see, his numbers from last year and this year. Uh, I mean, uh, hmm, shit. Some of his, I mean, the snap percentages 43 and 43, targets 53 and 52 in zone. What is this here? Is this? I wonder did Nakua get hurt last year? I don't remember. Did he? But some of his numbers are definitely identical. Two touchdowns and man, one in zone. You know, yards per route run, yards after the catch, red zone targets, 3 and 3. Pretty much, he pretty much can do it all, right? So, it is what it is with that situation. And any of his numbers, I can't talk you off of any of it, right? The 6.5 receptions, things like that. I do need to look a little bit more into the defensive personnel though, right? I need to educate myself on the defensive personnel, and then it is what it is with that situation. Um, His explosive plays this week, this year, or however you want to say it: 11 targets, 10 receptions, 130 yards, 87 air yards, 6 catches at 10 or better, 3 catches, um, 20 yards or better. His long was 25, right? So that those are some things you can look at, the longs and stuff like that, right? But everything is in play for Puka Nakua, and I don't mind the receptions and or reception targets if you plan on pick'em sites for like places like Prize Picks and stuff like that. Let's see, Prize Picks. Uh, is it lagging on me? We'll see, but we'll see. Let's see what some of these numbers look like. Reception targets here. Boy, I got a lot to do, man. Damn, a lot to do. Flowers. Fannin 5.5, 6.5. Tillman 7. Where's the oh, you know what? I can filter it to that game though, right? Yeah. Uh, Tennessee and the Rams. Reception targets. 8 for Devontae Adams. Mm. Puka Nakua 9.5. Mm. 9.5. Oh shit. Puka Nakua 9.5. Um, receptions. So 9.5. He's coming off 11, a 14 target, 9 target, 14 targets, 9 targets, 8 targets, 14 targets, 8 targets, 13 targets, 9 targets. What about well, this is his first year. I I have to check on, I have to check on things, man. I have to check on things. Let's look at Tennessee. Uh Go Tennessee Titans. Um Calvin really 8 targets. Mm, whatever. I can't even. I'm not even gonna butcher his name. Um, hmm. What about the red zone share percentage? Receiving rush, carry share, 85% for Tony Pollard, 85%. Mm, about Yards per attempt, inside zone percentage. Go to 2024. Okay, go back to 2025. Rush attempts, rush receiving yards. Receiving yards, receptions, they're not showing me the receptions here for him. I have to go back. I have to go back here, and that's probably not nothing. He's only had one target, one reception. Okay, 60 yards. Mm. Go back to Calvin Ridley receptions. He had 4 catches on 8 targets there. I heard he had a costly drop. And coverage. 2024, man. He was good versus man. What's his receptions? 4.5. 2025 versus zone. How much zone did he face? Only 27 yards. I would probably have interest in that 4.5. If he's going to get 8 targets or shaking it down to about 4 or something like that, I don't mind that, right? Anytime TD, nope. He's in play, but I probably won't be going there. Mm. 2.5 receptions for this kid. Um, it's coming off of a game where he had 7 targets, 2 receptions. 7 targets, 2 receptions. Tyler Lockett, what did he do? Did he even play? 1 target, 0 receptions against that team too, man. Denver. Mm, Tyler Lockett's 1.5 receptions. 1.5 receptions. Mm. One of these two guys are in play, right? One of those two guys. I have to figure it out. I know this kid had 7 targets last game, so the 2.5 probably not a rim of possibilities. Of course, Calvin Ridley is leading the way, and if I'm looking for touchdowns or anything like that, it would probably be first. I would probably be looking at both running backs here. Uh, Around a -120, -135 range in some books here for Pollard. Number creeping up. He should get the line share. It is what it is, right? Um, Cam Ward, his pass attempts line sitting at 31.5. Yeah, 28. Mm. Um, I want to go back here to the Rams. It's 31 and a half pass attempts. He threw it 29 times versus Houston. Where is I'm not getting the attempts. They showing me rushing and shit like that, man. They showing me rushing. I don't know. They probably got to fix that. I don't know if that's something. Was it me? So they got to fix that. All right. Hmm. Lower target share here. And Jigba had 11 targets. Another guy that you can definitely look at the usage here. Um, 2 targets, 2 receptions for Cooper Cup. Damn, that's crazy. How many times did he throw the ball? Sam Donald only threw the ball what? 23 times. Okay. Smith and Jigba. They play zone 64% of the time. Um, he had 11. He faced a decent amount of zone last week. And he had 11 targets versus zone last week. 13 targets in total. 2 versus man. 11 versus zone. 8 catches. 100 yards. Um, mm, what about last year? 2024. Last year versus zone, he had more targets. His receptions versus man, he had 39. Versus zone, he had 61. Yards, almost 200 more yards versus zone. 8 red zone targets last year versus zone. So he looks okay versus the zone. We'll see we'll see what he'll be able to do, right? Um, his reception line is sitting at 5.5. Don't know what his target line is sitting at. Let's take a look on prospects and see do we have a target line for him. Prospects, we got a target line for him. What team was that? That was Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh and Seattle. Okay, right here. A target line. Damn, where is it, man? Okay, reception targets right there. 8.5. 8.5. So if you like betting on reception targets, you can get that here, right? If you like betting on fantasy score, you can get that here. Prop Finder also has fantasy scores here. His fantasy score is sitting at 11.5. Um, it's PPR. He can get that. He can get that in fucking catches, right? If you know. it's you probably could. So it is what it is. Last 10, he's over that fantasy line in 8 of 10. So it's pretty good as of late versus this situation here. So we'll see what's happening, right? Sam Darnold just got over there, uh, picked right up on what's going on over there. So as far as the connection with Njigba, so after a game like that, definitely be looking at the its own right type shit. So passing TDs, field goals, made receptions, pass completion, receptions versus attempts, kicking points, return combos, rush receiving yards combo, yards on the first rush attempt, shortest field goal made, yards combo, longest completion, sacks taken, rush, longest rush, completions, percentages, tackles, um, punts, um, longest reception, yards on the first reception. Interesting. Receiving yards in the first 2 receptions, rush yards in the first 5 attempts, completions in the first pass attempt, 10. Interesting. Okay. Um, going back to prop finder here. Interesting here. Usage. Kenneth Gainwell. All right, so go to the team share real quick. Um, Go to team share. Go to no, not St. Louis, Seattle Seahawks. Right there. Shit, what the hell? Zach Charbonnet. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with this situation. Um, so Charbonnet, he had 0 targets. That was crazy work right there. Um, Kenneth Walker had 3 targets, 3 receptions. Charbonnet got the line share of the carries there at 46%. And Kenneth Walker at 38%, and 4 red zone carries for Charbonnet and 2 red zone carries for Kenneth Walker. So when that's something to keep an eye out on. You probably want to keep an eye out on that share. It can get kind of sketchy when you're looking at the touchdowns and stuff like that. But it is what it is, right? Just want to kind of like be weary of that situation. Situation, excuse me. And then let's see, targets, Kenneth Walker, shit like that, right? Whatever. Um, hmm. Red zone targets. Nobody. Nobody, because they didn't probably. Okay. Kenneth Walker. Hmm. Snap percentage. Where's snap percentage at? I would like to see snap percentage. Where's that? I don't know if they got that. If so, I can tell how long that motherfuckers was out there. But it is what it is. If I'm betting on a receiver here, um it's definitely gonna be in Jigba. Um hmm, the running back situation kind of mucked up. And I don't know if I would want to go to the other side here. Pittsburgh still is here. Metcalf has 7 targets. Calvin Austin had he kind of spread the ball around a lot there. Um, Red zone targets. Warren, Austin, Janu, all 3 of them had a red zone targets. Had a red zone target. Jono Smith, he has 6 targets, 5 receptions, 15 yards, 1 red zone target. Right. So, um, pretty efficient, right? And then there's Aaron Rodgers, um, Donald Smith, receptions. His line is sitting at 3.5. So you'll definitely want to keep an eye out on that. I do like to target, lower target, guys and tight ends and stuff like that. And some of the tight ends right here, um, okay. So this was last week. Um, 3 targets for Tongs. He came in after George Kittle got hurt. This was last week. He had three targets, 3 receptions. George Kittle had 4 targets, 4 receptions, and then the third tight end, the second of the third tight end, he had one target, right, and 1 reception. Both tight ends had a touchdown versus this defense. When you're looking at Tongs and you're looking at Kittle, right? Um, so far, tight ends fake getting busy, right? A little bit. I don't know. We'll see though, right? That's Seattle. Um, and if you wanna, if you like, I could also go over here and go to what touchdowns here. I can go to defense versus rush. I can go to defense versus pass catchers. I can go to tight ends here. I can go to receptions here. Seattle will pop up. I can go to touchdown. Seattle probably number one as they're giving up 2 touchdowns, 8 targets in total for the tight ends, 8 receptions, yards, whatever, right? 2 red zone targets. So keep an eye out on that just in case they're not going to be that good versus tight ends, okay? If not, if they don't, or whatever case may be, you can look at the Rays. You can look at somebody like Janu, man. Uh, so go back here. Um, yeah, he was basically tied for second in targets and stuff like that. Small targets though, like I said, so it is what it is. He's somebody, you know what I'm saying. He's somebody that you're gonna probably take a look at. All right, Janu. Um, what do we got here for Janu? Russian tap, uh, reception targets, 5.5. Hmm. He's got 5.5 reception targets in 4 of his last 5 games. Um, Janu, what is his touchdown prop? How about that? Anytime touchdown plus 300 or better. Interesting, right? Definitely looking for some long shot touchdown plays as well. Janu is a candidate, so it is what it is. You feel me? Janu is a candidate there. Um, the running back position, I'm gonna have to figure that shit out. Warren, um, let's see, carry share. Warren Gainwell, right? Um, so the running back Gainwell Warren had 2 receptions. I mean, 2 targets, 2 catches. Gainwell 4 targets, 3 catches for the running back situation there. Carries 11 for Warren, for Gainwell 7. Um, Red zone carries though, 100% of the red zone carries went to Jelly Warren. But hey, I'm not hanging my hat on a lot of shit there. But the share is, they sharing the ball right now. But I'm not, you know, but Warren did get 400% of the carries, but it is what it is with that situation. Right now, just I know. Well, you know what I can do though. How about I go back to Janu? How about I go here? Um, Game Day Insights. Go to 2024 and leave it on tight end. Red zone targets per game totals. So Seattle last year, um, they gave up 23 red zone targets to the tight end. Right. That's those are targets there. Right. Um, just just some to. They only gave up 4 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? That was last year too. It's not this year. I just want to point that out. Just want to point that out. All right. We don't know anything yet, but it's definitely on my radar. Keeping it moving. Let me see something. DK Metcalf. Uh they played man 56% of the time. I don't know why these numbers ain't in there for these wide receivers. But Ricky Pearsall did kind of get busy though. But long story short, he's played 90% of the snaps, 4 targets. How about last year? Man, round about the same last year. So versus man, um, last year, 3 touchdowns, 26. Last year he had 9 red zone targets versus uh, 9 red zone targets versus man. One versus zone. Am I correct? New regime, new team, new all that. So uh I'll pump my brakes on that. What about his receptions and targets and red zone share last week? Did he even go to him for a touchdown triumph? Red zone, no red zone targets. Not even gonna snap out on that either. Interesting play here. Johnu Smith. It's interesting for a touchdown here, right? Very interesting. Cleveland, Baltimore. Mm, I want to look at Cleveland. Some of these receivers now. Harold Fannin, right? Njoku has 6 targets. Fannin had 9. We were definitely contemplating on Njoku being that guy, but then here comes Fannin, right? So let's go to Baltimore and Cleveland here. Now, last year, um, just kind of transitioning over from last year. Now I know there was times that Baltimore wasn't the greatest versus tight ends, right? And I could select the weeks. I bet it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How about the first half of the year? Baltimore. So I remember, right? Baltimore. versus tight ends, they were green, right? They were green. Number number one in targets, number one in receptions. That was the first half of the season, right? Then I can take them down, and then I can go to I can take that down and see the second half of the season and see how they if they cleaned that shit up, right? Which I believe they did. Now this is the second half of the season, not none of the first from week 9 on. Right. So from week 9 on, they there's no green there, right? So they kind of like touched that up. They kind of like touched that up. Fast forward to now, Baltimore targets, yards, air yards, one touchdown. Mm. Um, hmm, I'll find I want to stop right here first on Njoku. So his line is sitting at 39 and a half. He's hit this number versus them last year. I want to say 6 of 10 in his last 10. Um, so last week, um, these are some tight ends right here versus this defense, right? Jackson Halls, one catch, 39 yards. Dawson Knox, two catches, 20 yards. Um, Kincaid, 4 for 4, long 22. So longest reception. Looked like they could give up a longer reception to the tight end, but now you got to deal with Njoku and Fan. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to figure out which one, right? Because you got two tight ends out there getting busy, right? Harold Fanning Jr. He's a tight end. He's out there getting busy. And Njoku can probably get ready to get traded or some shit, right? He probably could. Dylan Sampson had 8 fucking catches, and the running back, and he led the way with receptions. That was crazy. Um, Tillman, Judy, and Joku. Flacco just going to be back there letting it fly, right? 15, 20, 25, 29, 30, 31 attempts. He's probably going to take about 40 between this week. He's going to take about 40, 45. He's going to take about 40, 45 passes. Attempt. Let me see. Joe Flacco, passing attempts. Oh, he took 45. He took 45. His passing attempts right now is sitting at 39 and a half. He hit that 39 and a half last year versus them. He took 45 versus them last year. Game script should have them down, losing. So game script should have him passing, right? So game script should have him passing, right? Face that Cincinnati team, pass versus them. So it is what it is, right? But where were we? Fannin. Um, hmm. 3.5 reception is his line. I'm scared to go to it, but um, as you can see, last week, it's doable, but mm, coverage, what they play. Zone last week, 61% of the time. Last year, man, it was 50-50 last year. But last week they played some zone right there last week. So I don't know. We'll have to see what Fannin. This is his first game. Yeah, that was like we'll see. And Joku, let me see. Um, Zone and Joku last year versus Zone. If they're gonna play Zone, what did he do last year versus Zone? So the Joku versus Zone last year, uh, he had 40 receptions on that, 3 touchdowns on that, one more touchdown in zone, 17 more catches than man. Um, mm, 60 more yards, 50 more yards, 53 more yards. Red zone targets about even. So I guess Tillman. They played man 50% last year. What were they playing? Right, zone, right? Yeah. Hmm. Jerry Judy. What did he do against zone last year? So Jerry Judy was trying to get busy in zone last year. He looked okay. Jerry Judy looked okay. Um, they kind of got semi gassed up this last week too, right? Yeah. Baltimore, 20 receptions, 6 red zone targets, one for wide receivers. Yards, Baltimore. They gave up the first, for week one. They gave up the most yards. Their secondary. Of course, that was Josh Allen, but he took whatever he could work with. They will be passing. They will be passing about 2024. Wide receiver, 2024. They have four. It was fourth in giving up yards to wide receivers. Fifth in receptions. What about running backs last year? Running backs last year. It don't take me nothing but about 1 or 2 times to go through a slate like this, and I'll be locked back in. Receptions, targets, yards per catch, touchdowns. Okay. Baltimore, 6 targets, yards per catch. This is to the running back. Last year, he gave up 6 catches to the running back already. Let's go take a look at that. Just learning how to navigate through this tool here. All right, Samson, Jerome Ford. I do need to go back and see what the. Oops, I need to go back. All right, just getting the hang of it. Right, team share percentage. Um, Cleveland. Cleveland. Carry share. So Jerome Ford had one target. Nothing in the red zone. He had two. Ford had two red zone carries. Fannin had two red zone. No, that's Sanders. Raheem Sanders had two red zone carries, and Sampson had two red zone carries. So what is Sampson's receptions, anytime TD, and fancy points? 9.5 fancy points. Hmm. So we don't have any lines for his receptions nowhere. No reception lines. They don't know what to do with that. Fannin receiving. Oh, wait a minute. No, they don't have any receptions. Nope. Nobody's got reception lines for him. Okay. All right. Um, okay. Zay. Take a look at Zay. In fact, go back. Zay Flowers. 9 targets, 7 receptions, 143. No red zone targets. He had a couple carries in there. Zay Flowers. Reception sitting at 4.5. Hit this number versus them last year. First quarter receptions, where's that at? Filter. First quarter receptions for him. I don't know how much I trust that, but he is 1 for 1 versus this team, and he's 6 of 10. First quarter reception. Um, don't see any odds out for that yet, so that's something. Clear that out. Um, they played man last week. Played the same amount of man last year. Last year versus man. He was pretty much even all the way around. A few more red zone targets, a few more touchdowns in zone, but it is what it is. That was last year. Right now, he did pretty good in both categories. Touchdown last week. Receiving yards sitting at 59 and a half. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they didn't look so good last week. Receptions. Hmm. Derek. Chase Brown had a rushing touchdown versus them. He had one last year versus them. Um, mm, it's crazy work. Chase Brown had 21 carries for 43 yards. Rushing attempts. At 20 and a half rushing attempts, I think that's something you could definitely look at there. Yards, He's over his yards versus them. Of course, is Henry. Longest rush, 20 and a half. Of course, you can get there if you want. Interestingly, the receptions for him. I think he had two targets last week. Don't know if I'll get to his receptions though. That's so iffy. Hmm. I don't mess with too many players on this squad, but um, I will take a look at Lamar Jackson. Scored on them last year. Mm. Now Lamar is continuing that streak. I cashed that in. The 1.5 passing touchdowns. Don't know if I'll go there this week though, but he's hit it last year versus them. He's hit 1.5 touchdowns in 9 straight passing touchdowns in 9 straight and 15 of 20. So that's something you could definitely look at. I like that. The 1.5 passing touchdowns, you'll get that. It's kind of juicy right now, but other places you can get it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I couldn't talk you off of it. 1.5 passing touchdowns. Henry, whatever you want to do for Henry, it is what it is. Right now, I'm just definitely getting familiar with this tool and seeing what it does, what I can do with it, and stuff like that. Hmm. We got a 47.5 over under for the Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions game. I'm thinking both teams, of course, are scoring a touchdown in each half. I got a feeling for that in this one here with the total seemed like, is there. You get it for a plus 128. So that's something I'm probably going to sprinkle on that. I ain't even going to lie. I'm probably going to sprinkle on that. As far as this game, um, take a look at some of these lines. On the Bears side, we'll take a look at them. Dunze, 6 catches. 6 targets. Zacchaeus, right? Zacchaeus, he's out there. He's out there finding his spots, kind of like taken away from Luther Burden too, man. So I don't know. We got to watch that situation. But 7 targets, 4 receptions, looks okay. So you feel like we should have kept Fields and Harrison? Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. It just ain't no telling, man. Fields is good. Caleb, I don't. Caleb is different. I was watching that motherfucker. He is different, but um, he different as far as personality, and I don't know what's going on in his head, but it's still early. I can't write him off. I can't write him off right now. I can't. Um, I got to give him more time. I got in this offense. It shouldn't take that long though. Shouldn't take that long. But it is what it is. We'll figure it out. I don't know what year Fields is in though. He's been here. He's been there for a while. It is what it is. We'll see what's gonna happen. We'll see what's gonna happen. Um, it's a lot of stuff with that motherfucking with the squad though. I was worried about Adunze. I was still worried about DJ. You know what I'm saying? I'm the what the number one thing right now is the running game, man. The running game. You can't Swift can't go out there and do what he tried to do. He can't do that shit on a regular basis. So they're gonna have to let Manangai or whatever. That's the number one. That's number one. Because you can't. He's not ready. The way we going, or the way the season's gonna go with Swift. Caleb gonna be throwing that motherfucker 40 times, 40 times a game. So we needed to go at Nick Chubb or somebody like that. They need to give fucking Monangai the ball because you're not gonna be, we're gonna be in shootouts. That's all. We're gonna run across some teams that Swift is not going to be able to. No, he ain't gonna be able to keep doing it. That's not even who he is. Uh, Carry share. Yeah, but yeah, they got to give him the ball. He didn't have no rushes. Uh, uh, DeAndre Swift took 100% of the carries, and then DJ Moore took one red zone carry. We gotta be able to balance that shit out. Got to be able to balance that shit out. Got to open up some more. We got the personnel. We just need that one. I don't give a fuck who he is. They need to get that ball to him, son. Right? And then they completely went away from DeAndre Swift in the passing game. After that first quarter, I ain't see another pass from his ass yet. A reception for him yet. But I digress. Let's go. It's still early. I can't write none of these guys off. You know what I'm saying? I can't write none of these guys off. We'll see what's gonna happen. Targets, like I was saying, the Doomsday probably, like I said, he's probably gonna emerge into the number one. And who is this? Okay. Um, hmm. He only had 37 yards. Um, hmm. What did they play? They played man. Last year they were playing man. Man. So, hmm. hmm. That's hard for me to put a gauge on Doomsday. His numbers kind of like identical a little bit. Five more catches last year in zone than man, and targets, and then eight more receptions than in zone than man. One more touchdown in zone than man. Like whatever, right? Last week they played. So Detroit they playing a little bit more man at 56% last week, and hmm. Three receptions, 3 and 3. Touchdown was in zone. It's early. We'll have to see. I want to see what his target's going to look like here. Since he had 9 targets last week, they're probably going to bump his targets up. So let's see. They're probably going to have his targets about 7.5 or better. 7.5. No, 6.5 or better. Reception targets. These are targets, not receptions. These are just how many times they threw the ball to him. Right? 6.5. I think that's a play. I think that's a play. If you're talking about a Chicago team, you got to figure out. You got to figure out if this motherfucker if you think they can run the ball, man. Straight up, we finna be in that. We're gonna be in that dome. We're gonna be in that dome. Detroit finna try. They definitely getting ready to try to have their swagger back. We're gonna be in that dome. 6.5 reception targets. I like it. Even if it miss, I like it. I like it. I have no choice but to like it. I like it. 6.5 reception targets for him. I like it. Um, Caleb. Let's see. Anytime TD is in play for him, of course. Receiving yards at 49 and a half. It should be in play, right? Should be in play. Um, mhm. Longest reception sitting at 19 and a half. Jaden Reed hit that. Wait a minute. What is this? Fantasy points, 9.5. 9.5 fantasy points is in play as well. I think I like the fantasy points, man. I think I like that. No, yeah. I think I like that fantasy line. That's underdog. What is this fancy on prize picks? I think I like that fancy line right there. They probably not. It's probably gonna be 10 or better on FanDuel. I mean on prize picks here. Damn, damn. I thought the Bears was gonna play better than that shit, man. Where's the fucking fantasy score? Shit, 10 on 10. So if you like the fantasy score, I would take it on underdog. But 10 ain't bad for what I think he can do. Because I think he can get 7 receptions. Okay, that's 7 points just from catches alone. And if you give him 30 yards to go with them 7 catches, boom, that's 10 points. Anything over 30 yards, anything over 7 catches and 30 yards is you crushing that fantasy score. So if you're thinking like that, then it is what it is. One touchdown, don't get a touchdown, then you in the money. So I do like I do like it. I do like it. Um, that was only one game, but like I said, they want Doomsday to be great. They do. Caleb, on the other hand, um, I would be looking at his attempts. His attempts, his pass attempts at 33. His pass attempts at 33. I think he can hit this, right? Last year versus this team, he hit 35. I think he can hit that. I don't. What about his completions? Let's see. Interceptions, longest completions, passing yards, passing in, passing rush yards, longest completion, interception, rush attempts. Oh, rush interceptions, rushing yards, longest rush, fancy points. The completion's not up there. Damn. But as far as this team and the Caleb situation, I don't know. I think it's gonna take him longer, right? He's under the longer act. Passing yards, I'm gonna have to like the 215 and a half. I have to like it, right? I have to like it. I have to like it. I wouldn't take the under. I got to like it. He don't get there, he don't get there. Completions, 20 and a half. Boy, they had a motherfucking meltdown or some shit last week, but the 20 and a half, I can see you fading it. I can see you fading it. I can see you fading it. I want to see. I definitely want to see if they're gonna make any adjustments to their offensive game plan. I just think they need to involve and they need to put the other back out there as well, right? They need to run them. They need to run them both because we're gonna have to, get some. Get some. He, like I said, he's not a between the Swift ain't no between tackles type of guy. Okay, I'm just sorry. It is what it is. Um, but both games he hit his fantasy score at 17 versus his team, so that's something that you can look at right there. His fantasy score gonna have to be in play for me. The offensive line played better that first game. I don't think he even got sacked until the fourth quarter or the end of the third. So, it is what it is. Good luck with the Komet and the Colson Loveland thing right there. Komet did get 4 touchdowns. Shout out to him for catching hitting that long reception for me. Zacchaeus, like I said, he's interested. And DJ Moore. I definitely, it's still early in the season. Um, what is the reception prop looking like? Uh, 4.5. I couldn't talk you off that either. I like that. And head to head versus this team, he's hit that number. We will be in that dome, and I don't know what their offense is going to look like. The offense is probably going to look better against this Bears team because we battling injuries, but they just went up against a tough Packers defense. So it is what it is, right? On the flip side, I don't know what to think about their offense. A couple of those guys that were silent, um, they won't be silent this week, right? They will not. So looking at the targets and target shares and things of that nature, Laporta led the way with, Gibbs led the way with 10 targets, 10 receptions, 6 catches for Laporta on 9 receptions. 9 targets. So probably a lot of short stuff though. That's what it is. What it is. That Bears defensive front gonna have to get at Goff. He's not mobile like that, so they're gonna have to get at him. Right? They're gonna have to get at him. That's it. As far as the carries here, Montgomery he had 1 red zone carry and Gibbs had 2. Montgomery had 11 carries. Gibbs had 9. Gibbs had 9. You like Jameson TD? Bet, bet. Gibbs had 9. So they kind of like split the carries between those two, and that's what they do. So at the end of the day, Montgomery's still in play for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? It's a few narratives going on here. You got the buddy narrative with St. Brown and a Doomsday Day on the podcast every day, all the time, all that bullshit. And then you got, still got Montgomery, going up against the old squad type shit. Then you got the offensive coordinator type shit things going on. So it's a lot going on here, right? It's gonna be a lot going on here. We'll see what's gonna happen. Okay. Um, I don't want to check some of these lines. Gibbs, what is his fucking touchdown is sitting at what? Minus 170, minus 160s, parlay pieces. What about his receiving receptions? 3.5. He's hit this number in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight. Uh, Robert Smith, what's the deal? Gibbs, 3.5 receptions. I'm looking at it right now, man. I'm looking at it right now, straight up. I'm looking at it right now, and it's in play. Am I playing it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm playing it. I don't know if I'm playing it. He's hit this number versus the Bears last year. But am I playing it? I don't know. But it's definitely in play. He's coming off a game that he had 10 targets. Um, I would know if I tell you, I would know if I know how strong that Bears defense gonna be, right? Are we gonna be able to force him to check down? That's the thing for me. Are we gonna be able to force him to check down? If I know we're gonna be able to force him to check down, then hell yeah, you know what I'm saying. But our defense kind of a little bit banged up in that secondary. I don't mind what I seen from that defensive line. I mean, the kid we got from Indianapolis, he got back there a few times. Golf is not that mobile. If our secondary was intact, yeah, definitely I can see that shit happening. I can see that shit happening. And then, like I said, he's 1 for 1 versus us already. So, long story short, would I take the under? I tell you that. No, I wouldn't take the under. Especially coming off a game he had 10 targets in versus a tough defense. Would I take the under? I probably wouldn't. I'm iffy on the over though, but he can definitely hit it. His receiving yards are sitting at 25 and a half. If you look at that, you might want to look at that. Montgomery's attempts at 10 and a half. That's very interesting. Me personally, for the value, I'm looking at his touchdown. Personally, I'm looking at his touchdown. Uh, at minus 110 in places, minus 145, 115 in places, versus a touchdown for Gibbs. You're going to get it as a parlay piece. You're going to get it as a parlay piece. Let me see. Touchdown for Gibbs. You get it at minus 160, minus 172, minus 175. I probably would take my chances with a touchdown for Montgomery and just it is what it is. It's still early in the season though. It's hard for me to gauge because we got a new regime over here. I'm a Cubs. I mean a Cubs and a Bears fan. Let me make sure I got these TD numbers right for Montgomery. Right, plus money on Fanatics. It probably opened up at plus money in a lot of places. So it is what it is, right? And for me, I mean, we getting these boys in at home in the dome. They're a different offense. They last year they were a different offense in that dome. I want to see what they can do. That's all I can say right now. I want to see what they can do. But carries they are in play. Going up against a tough Green Bay defense, he just had 11 carries, bro. He just had 11 carries, and then Gibbs had 9 carries. Gibbs got 2 red zone carries, and Montgomery got 1 red zone carry, and then Montgomery surprisingly got 1 red zone target, and Gibbs got 1 red zone target. So there's instances where Montgomery can get a touchdown. There's instances. I mean, he's 1 for 1 to your carry prop. Let me see. The 10 and a half rushing attempts. He's hit this number. He had 11 versus us last year. Um, last 10 games, he's 6 of 10 versus it. Yeah. So the lead, he ain't the lead back, but I don't know. What you say? How these Onyx coins work? So Onyx, them coins, I don't even fucking know. Let me see. Hold on. I'm just looking at. I just be on the money side, bro. But let me make sure I got this right. Um, the coins ain't nothing, right? The coins is just it's like the overlay for the underplay, right? Really, the cash balance is where you living at, where we living at. If don't nobody know what we're talking about Onyx. You can use my code if you want. Uh, you can get you bet 10, you get 25, 25, 25. I mean, you deposit 10, you get 25. You know what I'm trying to say. You get 100. I'm sorry, you get 100 in bonus bets, and I would get like 25 or something like that, right? I do have a promo code for that. If you want to see that, this Onyx right here, right there, Onyx. I could drop the link on the. I could drop the link, or I could put it. I could put it if you want it. If anybody interested in signing up, you know what I'm saying. So definitely, definitely. If anybody, it's a new sports book. They fine, you know, deposit 10, get your $100. They're gonna give you four $25 bets, and then I'll get a $25 bet on a kickback. So it is what it is. But the coins ain't nothing, man. That's just for free. You want to play for free or something like that? That's all that is. All right. Um, Prop finder. Hmm. Jameson Williams. Hold up. Targets. Jameson Williams had 5. Amount St. Brown had 6. Red zone targets. St. Brown had 2 red zone targets last week. With these two guys, Williams and I'm interested in a 5.5 receptions for St. Brown. Um, what about his anytime touchdown? Plus money, plus 130. Um, Fantasy points around 12. Around 12. 2 for 2 versus that number versus us. Over an 8 of 10. Longest reception, 21 and a half. 2 for 2 versus this Bears team. Of course, new D coordinators, new all of that right now we got, right? So we got a whole totally new defensive scheme going on here. So it's kind of like, man, it's kind of like, what do we do here, right? Um, Sam Laporta receptions. Mm, he's 1 for 1 versus us. 9 targets last game. Hmm. The Bears played 70% man coverage last game versus last year. They played 60% zone. Last week was the first week of the new regime. So they played 70% man. By the end, if they're gonna be a man scheme by the end of the season, it might be closer to 60 if they want to be heavy. But they played a lot of man, right? Last week. So last week he had 9 targets versus zone. He got busy versus zone. No, he had 7 targets versus zone and 5 catches. Um, if I flip it to last year, man, so he was just better versus zone overall. He was better versus zone overall. Um, St. Brown last year versus man versus zone. He was better versus zone. Well, he had 9 touchdowns versus man. He had more receptions, 21 more receptions versus zone. St. Brown versus man, he was getting a lot of red zone targets last year. New offensive coordinator there, right? Uh, Jameson Williams last year versus man, 3 and 3 touchdowns, man in zone. Clearly, they were better versus zone in instances. clearly. Jameson Williams' longest reception, 21 and a half. His is lower than it's lower than St. Brown. His longest St. Brown's both of them 21 and a half. Whew, shit. Mm. And then for the Bears, like, what's running back do you take for their fucking touchdown? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm scarce about that shit. Shit. Who the fuck do I take for a touchdown? Oh, the Cubs can't bounce back with 5. Okay, get busy then. I was looking at Hap last night, man. Let me find out it was Hap now. Morrell, he looked green as hell. I ain't even bet it. Hap got his HRR. Hmm. Hey, Morrell looked green as hell, of course, versus a lefty. Bet. I use your link. I'm depositing tonight. Oh, for sure. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. No, I had something to do. I probably won't be back on the MLB train until probably Monday. I ain't even gonna stunt because I had to go do some shopping this morning. I got an event I gotta cook for. And then yeah, so I gotta cook for an event and then it is what it is. Going forward though, this is that time, right? Coming out of MLB, going into NFL, and then sitting my ass down when NBA start. That's how it's gonna be. I wing myself off MLB, NFL for a little bit, and then boom, I'm locked in on NBA like every day. So my streams is predicated off basically two sports. MLB do daily streams like a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then NBA, they cover most of the year, right? And NFL comes in that little window. It's hard in that little window because it's spotty. I have to be consistent. So the most consistent stream's gonna start coming back out when in the NBA season kick off. Now when I'm my spare time, I have to force myself to come on here and drop one or two plays. I'm trying to get to where I can drop uh, nothing more than a 15-minute video, maybe 10, where I can just give out some plays and be gone, right? Shit like that. I got another site in a working where I was dropping my plays off at because um I was gonna be working with Dub Club, but I don't think I want to go with them because they just don't fit my style. I was with them, but they don't fit my style. So at the end of the day, I might be dropping plays on this platform called Tails, right? Because they more of a social media. They have a social media presence. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's TikTok and YouTube, especially YouTube. So to get my content pumped, it's not just pumping plays down people's throat. But when I do drop plays, it would be there, and I would drop a few plays here too. But it's getting late. I just was right now. I was this was just another week or so. I'll be ready to chime in. But right now, I was just going over this tool. Right, a lot of people not using tools. I used to use a bunch of different tools, but this tool right here seems like it can pack up some things for me. But won't forget about Doink. Doink is something that I use probably primarily alongside of Game Day Insights for NBA. I really like that for NBA. This tool right here. But I like it. I like it for NFL too. I am so on the fence. I'm so on the fence, right? I'm so on the fence, and I'm just bringing a few tools right now just to see which way I'm going to be rolling, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the partnership is waiting on me for Doink, and I'm thinking about going there, right? I don't know if you guys worked with me last year, but man, I really used the shit out of Doink last year, and this is probably something that I'm probably going to end up using this year. So, going back to like let's say Jackson Smith and Jigba will be a decent. No, the tight end, right? So no, how about we look at um Janu? That would have been a good one, right? Let's look at Janu. Bam. So um how would this work here? Mm, I do like Janu for a touchdown. Okay, how is this going to work? Um, how do I toggle through the? I forgot. Let me see. Expand breakdown. Full game. Then you got your first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Um, okay, last 10. Okay. Go back. Okay, do that. All right. I just gotta get right back used to the site. That's I gotta get right back used to the site. Go back up to Janu. It's got to be some filters or something. Okay, filter without players. Hold on. More filters. Red zone targets. All right, I guess this must be the full longest reception. This is probably all they got. NBA, it's a lot more stuff to go there, right? So, um, full game, last 10. All right. So how Doink is set up? You got your prop here at the top, your share percentage, reception share percentage, reception targets, re- um, anything that's not in green or whatever the case may be, they don't have a line for it, right? So the reception yards, and then you got your hit rates at the bottom, longest reception, and then you got your anytime TD. So right now, and then you got your head to head, then you got your home at home, shit like that. With players, I could take with players, I could take players off. If DK Metcalf is out, I could take Metcalf off. You can go without players, or whatever the case may be. Filter targets, I could just do a lot of stuff, right? I can go with games where he had more than 3 targets. That's it, baseline type shit, or less than such. Same thing for the defense. You know what I'm saying? So you really get a chance to. I really work the shit out this site when it comes to NBA. Right? I'm just trying to incorporate it into my NFL research right now, and it's kind of iffy for me right now. I ain't gonna lie. But taking a look here, I'll tell you guys what I was what I let me see. So some of these games, my thoughts on some of these games, some early plays that I'm looking at and I'm thinking about. Uh, Arizona, Phillies. 'Cause I ain't look at all these games. Miami, 48 and a half total there. Green Bay. No, that's the Thursday. No. Monday, right? The Chargers. I didn't get all the way to this game, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking at here. Um, I'm looking at one play that I'm looking at here is just off the top of my head. would be oh, we don't have lines out. That's why, because they're dealing with some injuries. Jacoby Myers, right? His receptions. I'll be looking at that. Let me see if I can go over here to Prop Finder and see if I can find anything for these guys here. Um, Las Vegas Raiders here. Jacoby Myers. Um, so I don't know what book this is. Prize Picks. They only have his receiving yards and they have his anytime touchdown out. I think Brock Bowers is going with somebody's injured, right? That's why we ain't getting the full lines or whatever the case may be. Um, but go back here, I can show you guys. He had 10 targets last week, 8 receptions on 10 targets, almost 100 yards, no red zone targets. I could go back to the 2024 season, and it ain't gonna show me game logs though. I could do it. Well, it ain't gonna show me game logs, so I'll stay right here. But he just knows where to get to, where to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna be interested to see what his target's gonna look like. His receiving yards are in play though. I don't know if I'm gonna get there. I'm more of a targets type of guy. I mean receptions type of guy, but he's coming off an 8 reception game. Former quarterback, he knows where to go, where to be, things like that, right? And then on Gino can go back there and Gino can go back there and sling it. You know what I'm saying? He's coming off a game where he passing yards 362, 362. Um, his passing attempts around 34. So they getting acclimated a little bit. So it is what it is. So Jacoby Myers as a receiver, he's definitely on my radar. Okay. Um, Next would be and a Genty score. I couldn't talk off of that. The Buffalo Bills and the Jets game here. Whew. Uh, some shape or form with the running game could be in play here. Um, whether it's Justin Fields or the what's his name again? Um, Brees Hall. One of these guys, rushing touchdown is in play for Josh Allen for me, as well as Justin Fields, as well as Cook, as well as Brees Hall. Um, the receptions, like, come on, man. I mean, I'll play that shit every fucking day, every time. That Gary Wilson, the 60 yards, I probably would play that, and receptions, I would play that, bro, straight up. You got Justin Fields, who's really good at locking on to his number one receiver, and then these guys are teammates. We're teammates in school. I mean, you start off in Chicago with Darnell Mooney, locking on to have Mooney looking like he was fucking Steve Smith out there, somebody. Like hella targets to the number one. Then you get DJ, hella targets to him. Then last year, who you have? Pickens, locked on to Pickens. So he has no problem with doing that. Uh, so this 5.5 receptions is a yes, please. For me, for him, uh, I will not get lost. Man, you can get lost in the sauce fuck with these motherfuckers. Your Secures and your Colemans, Kincaids, and all that shit. Man, we'll see this year, man. But man, I'm telling you, them motherfuckers, they'll have your ass. It's like, who's the number one? It's hard, man. It's hard to figure it out. Um, but yeah, that I like everything about the quarterbacks rushing wise. For Josh Allen, I probably would look at a rushing touchdown for him, and the rushing, the touchdowns for me going to going to the backs and the quarterbacks. What's up, Don? The backs and the quarterbacks. The Cowboys and the Giants, like I like the Cowboys 4.5. I like the Cowboys 4.5. I like the Cowboys 4.5. Um I like the Cowboys 4.5. I also like um I got to go back to the well for Javante Williams touchdown. I hit his touchdown for the jackpot on FanDuel. So hey, I got to go back to the well for that, right? I did not. Let me see something. Let's go to Dallas. He's the bell cow guy. As long as he's healthy, I mean, I know. I mean, I know he's okay. He's okay. He's gonna be okay, right? So Javante Williams, how about rush yards? Um, oh, right. Well, Miles Sanders had that long one. He broke that long one. Other than that, mm, the separation is there. 15 carries for Javante, 4 for Miles Sanders, and then give me a touchdown for this kid, Javante Williams. I like it. It is what it is. Red zone carries 3 for Javante, 2 for Miles Sanders. I mean, he broke a long one. Is that considered a red zone carry? No, probably not. But I still like Javante. You could also look at his. You could probably take a look at his carries, right? A carry line or something like that. I don't know where they're gonna have a carry line at, right? That's as far as the running backs. And then CD Lamb, like, come on, man, 13 targets, like whatever, right? He's in play. Ferguson is in play. Ferguson is in play for sure. If that D line gets activated from the Giants, then you can see Ferguson or somebody like that and get busy. It is what it is. Pickens can be the deep threat. They haven't got it going yet. The shallow guy, Jake Ferguson, and CeeDee Lamb can do it all. Right? Can do it all. I don't think I want anything to do with the Giants here. Uh, I don't want anything to do with the Giants here. Uh, I could see somebody like what's the name probably getting in there for a touchdown, but I don't even want to take stabs at that. You know what I'm saying? Malik Neighbors had 12 targets. I need to see these boys get it. I need to see it could be Neighbors is the only one I'm probably looking at, right? But Tyrone Tracy, he'll be a touchdown candidate if they could move the ball for sure. I'll be probably looking at him for a touchdown, something like that, right? They only had one fucking red zone carry, so that was weird. But it is what it is. The receptions though, let me go back and see what was the receptions for Malik Neighbors. What's his reception line? 6.5. What up though? Excuse me. Over 26 yards. Mm, interesting. Um, let me see. The 1.5 touchdown passes has been a staple for him. Uh, what's the kid's name? Uh, let's see. Uh, why can't I just search hit rate, share percentage, team defensive stats? Can I just search a player, please? Damn. Either way it go, I was looking to see if I could search a player. Best way for me to do that was to come here and just go to the Baltimore Ravens. like come around the back here. Everything else is in play for the Ravens, but like I said, don't sleep on the passing touchdowns. Yeah, right. He's over this number in 9 straight. Right, 1.5 passing touchdowns. Division. What's this? Is this a division game? 1.5 passing touchdowns though. That's in play for Lamar Jackson, fam. So, he's over this number in 9 straight. You can just keep on going, right? You can just keep on going. um, I like. I might take a stab at. I'm taking a stab at both teams for a touchdown in each quarter at plus 120 something, plus 120 something here for the Chicago Bears game, and I'm taking Montgomery for a touchdown. Um, the 6.5 prize picks, the 6.5, the 10 fantasy score for Dunze. I kind of like that. And then the targets, right? These are reception targets, meaning throwing it your way. You ain't even got to catch it. It means just throwing it to you. 6.5 reception targets. I like that for Dunze coming off a 9 target game. I like that. They want him to be great. So it is what it is, right? Gibbs, his reception targets are at 4.5. He's coming off of he's hit this number in 4.5. He's coming off a 10 reception game. But I still like a Doomsday 6.5 reception targets. Just throw it to him. I don't give a fuck if you catch it or not. Just throw it to him. And his fantasy score at 10. Um, Other plays I like there to include um, attempts for uh, Caleb. Maybe completions, but attempts for Caleb's. I like that. Um, Puka Nakua, it is what it is with his situation. But I can't talk about anything for Puka, but um, Adams, 8 targets last week, 4 catches. His line is his reception line is sitting at 4.5. I like that, and I didn't check his target. Right, I think his targets were probably I think his targets was probably 7.5. I couldn't talk you off of that because you know how he's gonna do this, right? You know what Stafford's gonna do. Okay, so reception targets, his receptions is sitting at oh, that's not the team. I'm sorry. Reset. Um, Tennessee and the Rams. Okay. And if you want to tease some of these down, be my guest, right? But reception targets, 8 for Devontae, 7.5. I would have pulled the trigger. 8. Well, I might have pulled the trigger. What I said in this game is I need to go back and check some of these. Check some of the. I need to check some of the wide receiver matchups and shit like that because the cornerback matchups and stuff like that, so I can see who I'm not. I need to see who the personnel is on the Tennessee side of things. Both running backs can play for a touchdown though. Kyron Williams and Pollard. Both of these guys getting the line share over 70% of the running back duty. So those guys are there. And then the highest target share guys would be Ridley and Puka Nakua, followed by probably Devontae Adams would be next. Looking at full game, right? So concentrated offense for the Rams. Usage in order would be Puka Nakua, then Adams. That's where the ball is going to those two guys. In a passing game, a few catches for Kyron Williams. Would I take it? I don't know. Okongwu is interesting too, though. He's interesting, but we'll see once he get his rapport together with the rookie. Um, Boy, do I like this game here, right? Now, um, interesting thing here in this game here, um, you need to pay attention to the rushing touchdown for the quarterback. I forget, Trevor, right? So let's go. You know what I'm saying? Because we like long shot touchdowns and shit like that. Uh, um, Jacksonville Jaguars. Um, let's look at the depth chart. Let's go Trevor Lawrence. Anytime TD. Um, Now he not lately, right? Because his rushing yards was the one I used to be betting on, right? Used to bet on his rushing yards. But now his rushing yards sitting at 14 and a half. But he was fiddling with that number, man. That's a nice number there. Come on now, y'all. Damn, that's a kind of high. It might not be high, but the rushing the touchdown, the anytime touchdown is in play for him, man. He's got a game where he had two. He's got a game where he had one. Nothing head to head, but the number is the play on the number for me at plus 500 in a lot of places and plus 475s and plus 450s and stuff like that. So that's what it is for me. It's more of a play on the number. And then the game, right? The game, right? This game could probably get they could probably get busy in this one here, right? You know, you got the Bengals, you got Panthers, like this game could probably be one. And also I'm gonna like a touchdown in each half for each one of these teams. Okay. You're gonna get we're gonna get this and then if they out there spicy, you could probably get two, right? This could be one of those games where you could probably get two touchdowns for each team. It happens every once in a while. I ain't gonna. And then the one touchdown for each team, it happens, but it could sell too. But I think he's what's the number for that? Let's see. Plus 114 for both teams to score one touchdown in each half. If you're feeling froggy, two touchdowns for each half by both teams with plus 1750. Okay. It happens every once in a while, right up under your nose, right? Um, but I can't talk you off anything from this game here, whether it's passing yards, receptions, anything. Speaking of receptions and stuff, I did not take a look at Travis Hunter receptions and stuff like that. You say you like St. Brown ladder. Nice. It's a lot of implications there. I was thinking St. Brown and St. Brown and Odunze, you know, they buddies. They might try to show out. They all on podcasts and shit. But at the end of the day, Travis Hunter had 8 targets last game. He hit his receptions at 4.5. Um, if this Bengals get this offense going, then it's cracking, right? So it's a lot going on here, right? They just traded the other running back. So they just traded the other running back. So that's another plus for somebody like Trevor Lawrence that can sneak in there and get that touchdown. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's correlated or nothing like that. And then, of course, you got Brian Thomas Jr. out there. Um, how many targets did he have? 7 targets, 1 reception. He'll be looking for some bounce back. And then you got Travis Etienne. I like a lot here about this game, man. I like a lot here about this game. Travis Etienne, um, um, he ended up having how many yards? 143. What was his long? 71. Um, receptions, 2.5. I like that for sure. I like that. And then Brendan Strange. Um, looking at his receptions here, 4 targets, 4 receptions versus Carolina. Um, longest reception was 59. I mean, 20, 24. His longest reception sitting at 14 and a half right now. If you want to look at his fantasy points or something like that, be my guest. Anytime TD for him is sitting at plus 300 or better in everywhere. The only implications I gave, he was trashed last week. He gonna show up. I mean, of course. Tougher defenses. I'm not hanging the whole season on. I'm not hanging the whole season on no 1 week for nobody right now. Yep, Thomas Jr. Thomas Jr. ladder as well, 80. I couldn't talk off of that. I can't. Yeah, I can't. And that Bengals coming off that game last week versus Cleveland, and they're gonna want to get their offense going, right? Cleveland defense is, Cleveland got a little something over there. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna want to get their offense going though. They wasn't playing, right? So kudos to them because they start off slow. Joe Cool, them motherfuckers, they start off slow. They start off slow scoring. Hence, they played they motherfucking guys in the preseason. So you know they finna try to come out there and go ballistic. And on the other side, you don't need me to talk about them. You don't. And then Chase Brown, man, the usage for him was through the roof. You know what I'm saying? So this game here, I love this game. I love everything about this game. I love what this game. What's the total here? 49 and a half. Yes, please. Right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. For sure. Chase Brown minus 170 for a touchdown. Jamal 130. ETN 110. Thomas 120. Higgins 135. Hunter 220. Tootin 260. Strange 360. Trevor Lawrence, my long shot at plus 500. That's my guy. This is a wheelhouse for us. I think we're going north of 60. Yeah, this is the game. This is one of those games. And then, like I said, the Bears, listen, they about to be in this dome. The Lions, they about to be in this dome. If they got any resemblance of offense, they need to bring it this week. All the narratives on the table. And then the Bears and Ben Johnson. All the narratives on the table, man. Let's do it. Run that motherfucking score up too. You feel me? I'm trying to tell you, run it up in that dome early, right? Run it up. 47 and a half total there. Something's gonna probably gonna shake in that game. Some probably gonna shake in that game. I probably won't take the under there. Caleb, I need you, sir. I need you. 49ers and Saints. 40 and a half total here. Y'all know. Last week it was Pearsall. This week it's gonna be Pearsall somehow. Let's take a look real quick. So I'm not even looking at nothing. I'm looking at numbers for this game, right? So the boy came in and dropped 2 of them on their head. Oh, we don't got lines for the 49ers because they so banged up. Did somebody just ring my doorbell? I don't see nobody at the door. Okay, so look, Ricky Pearsall is out there. That's first touchdown corner. Anytime for Ricky at 205. Interesting. Jawan Johnson. I was all over Jawan Johnson last week. Pause, but I did not. I did not see the ladder coming, but I knew he was the guy, right? Plus 300 for a touchdown for him. The dark horse here would be for me. would be Cooks at plus 700, right? Let's go back here and take a look. Let me see something. Let's go back here and take a look at something real quick. Um, let's take a look at New Orleans, right? Um, Targets. Alave 13, Jawan Johnson 9, Rashid Shaheed 9. What was his touchdown? Shaheed plus 295. Okay. So Shaheed 6, 7, and 8. Targets, 7 for reception, 7 for Alave. Red zone targets. Hmm. Okay, carries. Red zone carries, 2 for Kamara. 11 carries for Kamara. 2 targets for Kamara. All right, go back to the wide receivers. Cooks. Cooks got 4 targets. 3 receptions on 4 targets. Game flow though. That's another thing. Game flow. How does game flow go? Right? Do they need to pass all that? Are they going to need to do all that? Are they going to have to keep passing? If not this game, it's coming. Right? So game script gonna always favor the pass for this team because they're going to be projected to be down. Right? Brandon Cooks' touchdown was plus 700. Don't. Hey, if I was a quarterback, I'd love to sling one deep to his ass. So I'm just letting you know that right now, right? Just letting you know that right now. Bailey had a red zone target though. Um, Cooks did not. Um, so I'm just Olave, Jawan Johnson, those guys, they definitely in play, right? They definitely in play. We know that. That long shot home run hitter, I'm looking for that motherfucker. That's what I was looking for in this game. And when you look at the 49ers side of things here, they have plays for tight ends and stuff like that. That's how, they just keep this offense going. You know what I'm saying? They so fucking banged up. They keep the offense going, and Buddy come right in there. Um, Touchdowns. Um, Kittle got one. Tone got one. Those are 2 tight ends. Red zone targets. Uh, uh, Kittle with 1. Tongs with 1. Um, mm, Farrell came in and got 1 target. So, when it comes to those tight ends, man, one of them motherfuckers can probably go up there and get a touchdown. Tongs already got his touchdown last week, and this week his touchdown is at plus 4 something right now, right? Plus 400 in places. Um, don't get me started on this on Farrell. If he catch a motherfucking touchdown, his touchdown around plus 500 too, right? When they got you got an office predicated around your tight right now coming into the season, they had to draw up more. They probably had to draw up more plays for George Kittle, and then George Kittle is out now, so they still got to play them motherfucking plays. So it is what it is, man. Straight up. Ricky Pearsall, and the running back, McCaffrey, those motherfuckers, they didn't play. We already know that. We're trying to figure out the other guys now. We try to try to get ahead of the curve on the other motherfuckers. Um, weird game though. At 41, So, and then here, Seattle, we know in Jigba, we know that, right? We know that. And here for Pittsburgh, like I said, it's gonna be. I'm taking a Janu TD, right? I'm taking a Janu TD here. Uh, Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, Jonu Smith had a touchdown last week. 6 targets for him, 5 receptions, only 15 yards. Or you could look at his receptions too. or his targets, only 15 yards. It's Aaron Rodgers. So we know, right? Do you look at Janu? He ain't no slouch. His anytime TD, 3 straight games, 5 of 6. If you know what you're doing, Rodgers gonna make sure you good, right? If you ain't out there bullshitting, you gonna make sure you good, right? Um, yeah. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. And then Seattle, they gave up 2 touchdowns last week to tight ends. Right. You wanna see if this is gonna be a trend. So it is what it is with that situation. Of course, your Metcalfs and stuff like that, but that's the guy who I'm looking at. Metcalfs and shit like that, they ain't play or whatever the case may be. You could also, I mean, I know the secondary shouldn't be that bad, but I couldn't talk you off 1.5 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers if he keeps playing some decent ball. The Patriots, Miami, I don't know what to say real quick. I have to look back into this one here. Diggs should be in play though, his receptions and stuff like that. Um, damn. I'm gonna have to look back into this one, man. Straight up, I am. Uh, I'm gonna look into this one when I'm at work. So I'm gonna do one more video and give you guys some plays. I'll drop a Jackson video more in the morning and see what all plays they got. Jackson, I'll drop that. Panthers, man, like I was saying earlier, Arizona Cardinals, everything is in play for these guys here. Last week, I was looking at Connor for 2 touchdowns, and we seen, you know what I'm saying? He's still a 2 touchdown candidate this week. You know, these motherfuckers terrible. Carolina, deep on the running game, shit like that. Run defense, they terrible. Uh, um, Chuba Hubbard, you could look at him for his receptions. I think he got busy last week. But when you're looking at the Arizona Cardinals here, when you're looking at the carries and stuff like that, Benson got 8 carries, Connor got 12. 2 red zone carries apiece for both of them. Um, Connor, 4 receptions, 4 targets, 5 yards, 1 reception TD. Okay. Um, and then, shit. McBride and Marvin Harrison, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Don't be surprised if you catch a rushing touchdown for the quarterback. And yes, they gave up 300 yards to Geno. Yeah, for sure, right? And you can hang your hat on that. Are they gonna get busy though? Hill, what? You know what I'm saying? Hey, and Mr. Glass himself, Waddle. So the running back still will be in play for that situation. But I had to go back and look at that one for sure. But yeah, man, Connor, I'm gonna like his touchdown every week. Every week, him and about 3 more other guys. It's about four guys that I'll bet they touchdown every week. Connor, that motherfucker, Jacobs, um, the Colts running back, and Henry. Don't give me the thinking, right? So here, interesting game here, right? Me personally, shit, I still like the Colts. I don't give a fuck. I like the Colts. I don't give a fuck how good their defense is. Give me them Colts plus 2.5. And if I take a L, I take a L. I don't even care. I don't even care, man. I still like the Colts, man. I still like the Colts. Oh yeah, Kayshawn Booty. Yep, ladder. Yep, man. They pass defense trash. That one gonna be that's gonna be a touchdown in each half. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that one too for a touchdown in each half. Might end up doing a round robin with that one, with these. Um, where is it at? Where's that game? Miami, New England. What's the total? 43.5. I think they're gonna get both teams gonna get a touchdown in each half in this one. Yeah, what's the numbers there? Probably gonna be about 170 plus 175. No, about plus 140, plus 145, I'll say. Let's see. About plus 145. Ooh, plus 180. Yeah, I think that can happen. I definitely think that can happen. Plus 180 for two touchdowns apiece, plus 3,800, plus 180. This is definitely a straight bet for me. Mm-hmm. Both teams to get a touchdown in each half. Yes, please. And then the running back, yeah, whatever his name is, y'all know who I'm talking about. Let me see. Devon 18 minus 125 for a touchdown. Trevion 180. Ramondre Stevenson 180. Diggs 250. Hunter Henry, definitely gonna like his receptions. Kayshawn Booty, hmm. Oh, I ain't gonna say definitely gonna like Hunter Henry's receptions, but he's just about as, you know what I'm saying. I gotta see what he did last week, what they did, how they played things. All right, so keep it moving. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I might be off a few props here, but Jonathan Taylor is definitely going to be a touchdown candidate for me. Jonathan Taylor at a minus 145, and the quarterback. What are they giving us? Daniel Jones at plus 205. So bet. I mean, Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, those guys are good. Okay. Marvin Mims is interesting. We'll see what's going to happen. Josh Downs should be getting acclimated. We'll see what's going to happen here. Colts is a team I want to be early to the party on overall. You know what I'm saying? I need to look at their schedule too. Colts is a team I want to be early to the party to. Where we at? Um, oh, I'm going back to the well with I'm going back to the well with oh, oh, okay. They play Monday night. Oh, they play Monday night. Okay. Well, Kansas City Chiefs and the Eagles. Some telling me to take the Eagles. Some telling me to take the Eagles. I don't know though, man. I don't know. I don't have much for this game. I do think this is a both teams to score a touchdown in each half game. So, you could take that to the bank if you want. Sneaky touchdown plays here. I don't bet on too many wide receivers, but whether it's Hunt or whether it's uh, 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 either I'm looking at the quarterbacks and the running backs for Kansas City to get a touchdown. Couldn't talk you off Mahomes getting a touchdown here. Okay, um, these two teams, Kansas City, Eagles don't give a fuck. They didn't win a Super Bowl. Actually, they don't like. They're not gonna like each other. They didn't went to two bowls. I think right. Yeah, they ain't not gonna like each other. They're not. I don't know what to expect here, though. I ain't even gonna lie. I'll probably be off props on this one here of Saquon Barkley, tush push type shit, whatever. But I won't be messing with any of the receivers. Kansas City is a team that I used to target for tight ends, so Goddard could definitely be somebody that you can look at for sure. But this year, I'll have to take a look at this year. Last year, I was targeting Kansas City tight ends. This is last year here, Kansas City, especially in the beginning of the season, right? But as of late, um, I don't know. I don't know. 2025. Let me see. Tight ends. 2025. Kansas City yards, receptions, targets. Kansas City. Okay. Just wanted to see something. All right. the Vikings and Minnesota. These games, this is the Sunday night game, right? Yeah. So Mooney expected to play in this one. So that's going to be interesting. Mooney expected to play. um, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't, man. I don't know. Kyle Pitts looked like something I might want to be interested in his numbers, but I didn't look at it. I'm gonna have to take a rain check on this one. Um, 44 and a half total. I'm gonna have to take a rain check. I need to look into that game and see what's happening here. And then it's gonna be a lot of different plays here in these games, but truth be told, I'm going back to the well with Nick Chubb touchdown here. Now it didn't came down to London is banged up for sure. It didn't came down to last week. I got the Nick Chubb touchdown at plus 115. Now this week is no, last week I got it at plus 200. This week is at plus 115 right now. What I know I'm going to do is take Nick Chubb and Bucky Irvin for a touchdown, both of them. Hopefully one of them hit. No, I used to, but it's so time consuming. But like I said, with this one here, I'm gonna take Chubb for a touchdown, and I'm taking Bucky for a touchdown straight. I know that for sure. Even if that's the only best that I take, then so be it. Um, and then hopefully one of them get in there. If one of them get in there early, preferably Bucky. If he gets in there early, I'm coming right back live betting him for another one. I gotta take it. I think I think there were some injuries here. There's probably some injuries on one of these teams that's gonna bolster one of these tight ends. So I need to take a look at that. Whether it's Cade Otton or Dalton Schultz, there was an injury. That I gotta look into it. I do. Okay. Um, and then I think there's one more game. These games I can revisit. I can revisit these games uh, for a solo show or something like that. Because I think, we these are double headers. Wait a minute. Wait. We got a double header win. Oh, Monday. Oh, with the Chargers and the Buccaneers. Okay. Oh yeah, this game. Yeah, I'll be looking at Jacoby Myers. I just want to see what the injury news stuff gonna look like, but I'll be looking at Jacoby Myers, uh, his his uh his receptions here. But I gotta see what the injury news look like. But I definitely would. Chargers. I'm gonna like the Chargers to win this game. Um, and man, Quinn Johnston, man. I think, you got to pay attention to that motherfucker. Um, I think I was looking at that yesterday. Los Angeles Chargers. Quinn Johnston, 2 touchdowns versus Kansas City. Shit, I'm probably gonna want to run that back. I'm probably gonna want to run that back. You're gonna have, man. You got Lad, yeah, and Keenan Allen. I'm probably gonna run that back, and then um, if I'm betting a side on that one, it's gonna be It's gonna be Chargers or nothing for me in this spot. Yeah, it's gonna be Chargers or nothing for me in this spot. Yeah, definitely. I'll be looking at a. I couldn't talk you off a Genty touchdown. I couldn't talk you off a Genty touchdown, but I'm gonna like on the Raiders side. I'm having interest in the Jacoby Myers props. Um, Quinn Johnston touchdown. Chubb and Bucky touchdown here. I want to go back and look at this game again. I want to go back and look at this game. I like the backs, right, for touchdowns in this Philly game. Running backs and quarterbacks, if that makes any sense. But I like the backs, man. Both quarterbacks in play for a touchdown. I ain't even gonna lie. Straight up. Um, it's the Colts or nothing for me. If I'm betting this game, fuck it, man. Colts or nothing for me. Going up against this tough ass defense. We'll see. We'll see. I like the pieces. I like man, it'll be Colts or nothing for me. We'll see. We'll see. I ain't saying I'm betting it, but that's how I feel. Connor, touchdown, maybe two. Um, running backs definitely in play because they even getting their ass ran over. Reception props for um, the Panthers running back. I forget his name. Chuba Hubbard. His receptions in play. I think he had like 3 to 5 receptions last game, so I can't talk off of that. Uh, both teams scored a touchdown in each half here. Plus 180 it was. And have to convince myself to get to some of these Miami props. So we'll see what's going to happen. Um, Shout out to J Main with the booty look. Pause. But I like Diggs too. Janu is a surprise. He's a dark horse for a touchdown. Not even a dark horse. He's in play for a touchdown for me. Um, of course, in Jigba, his receptions, reception yards, stuff like that is in play. Um, rough game here. Rough game here. There's gonna be a lot of moving pieces in this one on the 49ers side. Uh, you can rewind it back to when I was talking to them, but it is. We'll talk about them. Both teams to score a touchdown in this game here. This should be a good money game here, right? This should be a good money. This should be SGP heaven right here. We'll see. My dark horse for a touchdown here would be Trevor Lawrence at plus 450, 500 in places. Rams, concentrated offense for the Rams. Like I said, concentrated offense. You got Puka, uh, Kyron, and Devontae. Devontae coming off an 8 target game. His line at 4.5 for his receptions could be in play, should be in play. Both teams to score a touchdown in each half here. Plus money by plus 130, plus 140 for this game here. I'm looking for improvements for both teams here. Um, Montgomery for a touchdown. I'm not even confident in the Bears running game. What I would say here would be they have to go back and fix their run game. They have to add to that run game. They got to add somebody else to their run game. So a dark horse for a touchdown would be whatever the name is, right? The backup running back for the Bears. Until further notice, right? They probably gonna have to. I don't know. They got to use them. They got to use them, man. Straight up. What's the number for that touchdown? Mangala. Man, I forget. I kind of want to butcher his name. Plus 420. They got to get him acclimated. They got to get him acclimated. Jameer Gibbs coming off for 10. I mean, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. I think that's a good same game parlay atmosphere to get you at least. You can go in there and snatch you a plus 100 out of there pretty easy. I would say. 1.5 touchdown passes for Lamar. He's hit that number in 9 straight games, maybe 10. Of course, the touchdown is in play for Henry. I think you can parlay those two up. Um, Flacco attempts in play. Probably completions in play as well. Is it 1.5? If it's 1.5, definitely I couldn't talk off of that. Um, Man, give me them Cowboys, man. Damn, give me them Cowboys. Moneyline parlays, run line straights. That line is going ready to move more. Um, the neighbors, his props in play, man. Straight up, targets, receptions, whatever you want to call it. Oh, targets. I like the targets for 6.5 for Dunze, 6.5 targets on Prize Picks. That's targets. That means he just got to throw it his way. He ain't got to catch that motherfucker, right? You want to look at uh CD Lamb targets too. You want to look at that along with neighbors targets. You want to look at that as well. Um, Both quarterbacks in play for this Buffalo Bills game for a touchdown, and both running backs in play for a touchdown. And receptions at 5.5. Yes, please. For uh for uh for for the quarter for the running back here for the Jets, man. Damn, it's man, is man. Y'all got me. Y'all got me on this one, man. What the fuck is that boy name? It's too early in the season for me, man. Straight up. Garrett Wilson. My mind's all over the place. Couldn't talk about that 60 yards either. So yeah, rush yards. You know that's in play for somebody like Justin Fields. That game gonna be crazy. Game gonna be crazy. Hopefully it's gonna be crazy. Receptions for Brees Hall should be in play as well. I probably would look at Brees Hall receptions, rushing yards for Justin Fields, and touchdowns for both quarterbacks. I like it. I like it. I do. Yeah, I like Fields. No, yep, yep. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, okay. For bet. Um, Tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, right? I got an event to cook for. Um, Everything marinating in the fridge right now. Just to get on that grill tomorrow. Tomorrow we can come on and do some parlays and yeah, for sure. Well, I come in and we can do some parlays. Bring your parlays, right? Bring them. Bring your favorite plays, whatever. Bring all that shit tomorrow. Just bring it on, right? Uh, Come on here tomorrow. Come tomorrow. And bring some plays. Bring some plays, right? When will I be getting on? I think I'm gonna get on before I get on the grill. So that's what's gonna happen, right? Yeah. Bring some plays. Let's have some fun. I usually go live on Sundays, probably starting week 3. Starting week 3. If not, I don't know. I usually live bet on Sundays, live bet receptions and stuff like that, and parlay them up live. Oh my God, it's so fun, so fun. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Uh, Peace out. Peace.